everyone, welcome back to my festive page from Small Victories by Johanna Basford. Already we've done these two and we're going down to do the next triangular design here. I rather like these shape or geometry sort of backgrounds. I think they're rather fun. Now I have a bit of a plan for this one. I have seen that this year it looks like we've got a trend in some shops for sort of coppery and orangey decorations. So that's what I'm going to try here. Who knows if it's going to work. I am wondering though whether I should do that one. Just because it'd be opposite the yellow. Yeah, I'm going to do that one. So I'm going to do them slightly out of order. It doesn't matter. Is there an order? Who knows? So I'm going to start with an orange and do the little round florals and then sort of work from there, and hopefully it'll still look festive. We'll see what happens. Number 4, which is the orange, I'm just going to do the centres, so really just a dot, and I'm thinking that those little dots in our background, maybe I'll do those as well. And then they're so small. I wonder how Johanna drew these. They're so tiny. I guess she uses a very thin pen. But I find thin nibbed pens really difficult to control. Okay, so that's an orange. And I'm thinking the rest of the flower would do in a lighter orange. So is number 42 is the, I think it's just light orange, yes. We use that for the florals. And these florals, we do the other ones slightly differently. So this is 42 and we'll just colour them in. I'm not going to do anything too fancy. It does look more Christmassy and more festive if they're shiny, or you know, if we try and make them look shiny, but they're too small I think, and the shape doesn't really lend itself to putting shine. But we will go around the edge with our glitter like we have done with the others, so that will hopefully give it the sort of Christmassy edge that it requires, really. Or festive. I'll say Christmassy. I don't think I did the middle of that one. If I did, it wasn't hard enough for me to see. Yeah, I tend to say Christmassy. I know not everyone, as I say, does Christmas. I prefer the term festive. But I think in the UK, the majority of people do, but there will be people who don't, you know. And there are some people who, although they were brought up doing it, they don't like to, you know, but most people do. There we go. I've missed a dot here. There we go. So that's 2 oranges. Now our other flowers I could do in a bit of a darker orange, and we do have a space for shine. I'm going to use 24. Now it's actually called Scarlet Red, but I always feel like it looks very orangey. So here it is. Oops, 24. And I'm going to, with these, make a lighter area in the centre of each petal to try and replicate some shine. Oh, it's a train. Seem to be more trains running today than there were yesterday. And today is a Saturday and yesterday was a Friday. I don't know why. I just hope my boys can get a train next week. Oh, I find that's one of the most stressy parts of my day is when I check to see if the trains are running and trying to figure out what to do if they're not. Oof. But we know there's strike action planned next week. There are a lot of people saying, well, the train drivers get paid a lot of money. I mean, I don't know how that compares to other people's wages, and whether in fact that's an average wage and some of them are paid a lot lower, or whether even it's not just the wages they're striking for, whether it's to do with the working conditions. I'm a bit naive. I just find it a bit annoying that they do it, but you know. Oh, I've missed one. Unfortunately, that's the way things are, and we just got to accept it and get on with things, really. My mom can't speak. My one boy can get a bus in, but my other boy can't because there isn't one. So it's right, 49. Let's forget about that. Let's do this. I'm going to use this 49 for these. Now, for me, these look like they're seaweed. So I sort of think, am I colouring this scene completely wrongly? Should it be under the water with the bubbles that I've coloured in the background? But I think it's open to interpretation. I know Johanna doesn't tend to always completely have an idea of what the page is going to look like when they're done. It's just about providing something, a template really, for us to play with. Try and leave a bit of a lighter stripe down the middle. I think that's better. So I'm only colouring these around the edges and leaving a bit of white, and hopefully it might look a little bit like it's shiny. And also to have just one under the sea among the others, for me, I feel that's a little bit odd. I want them all to sort of be similar. Can't even speak now. So I'm just going around the edge, and some of them it means I leave a bit of white in the middle, which sort of looks a bit like shine. I'm wondering what to do in the background for this one as I colour these leaves. Well planned as always. In other words, I've got no clue. Right, I know what I'm doing for the leaves, so that's something. I'm going to use this 73, which is the burnt sienna. Again, trying to leave a little indication of shine. Trying to go for a sort of bronzy look maybe, but because it's such a small area, we can't do much more than a few dabs here and there. But hopefully that looks okay. Now background. I am thinking green might work behind this, and I'm thinking the olive and the olivey greens and orange always work well, so I think that's what I'm going to do. So this is 57, which is the olive green, and then we'll use the light olive as well. So we'll just use two like we did last time with the purple one with the blue background. So I'm just going to try and put some down near the edge and then just fade it in towards the middle, just like I have done with all of the others. And as I've said before, you don't have to do your background like this. You could block it in completely so that you don't have to worry about fading into another colour. You could leave it white, you could use a pen, you could use a glitter pen or a gel pen or a marker, a water-based marker. Always test your pens in the back of the book on the colour palette test page. That's exactly why they're there, because some pens will bleed through, and some people, I gather, buy 2 copies of the book and then colour one side of the page in one copy and the other side in the other, so their pens can bleed through, and it doesn't matter. But if you haven't got the budget for that, or it's just not what you want to do, then you need to make sure that your pens aren't bleeding through the page. Because if it is not what you are intending, then it isn't much fun when it happens. Okay, now to the 56. My 56 is getting really small, and this is my husband's 56 because I'd already run mine out, so it's a little worrying. But you know, it's my favourite colour from the set, so I guess it's bound to get used up. But I don't want it used up, I want it to last forever. You can't buy them open stock. Cult Pens used to sell Ergosoft's open stock, but only 24 colours, and they don't anymore since Ergosoft have stopped being sold, and they said they've got no intention of doing that with Design Journey pencils, which is a shame. It's a big problem with the budget brands, isn't it, that they don't sell open stock, meaning that you can't just buy one at a time, you have to buy a whole pack. And with the Ergosoft, I think the used to be able to buy 12 of one colour, which is what I think Colt Pens did, and then they would break it up and sell you, sell you the individuals. But they don't do that anymore. You have to buy them as part of a mixed colour pack. So they would have to buy a lot of packs. There's bound to be some colours that are always going to be more popular than others. It would mean they would be left with a lot of pencils that they wouldn't be able to sell. I would be guessing with the Ergosoft, probably they don't sell many white, for example, because the whites aren't particularly good. But anyway, we'll see what happens in the future, but it is a bit of a shame. Okay, I'm happy with that background. It doesn't look very festive, does it? So let's get some pens out. Now, I only have one sort of glitter orange, which I will use for all of the plants and leaves. I'm just trying to decide what to put around the outside, because we've used gold and silver. I really could do with, I've got green. I'm tempted to use this, I can't get it out, metallic green that I've got. This is number 526, so I'm going to use this green. Yeah, that's quite good, because it isn't very blue. Certainly couldn't have put a bluey green with this orange. Just doesn't work. Yes, what I follow is a rule of thumb for me is, what green shall I use? Well, bluey green goes best with blues, but also pinks and purples. Olive green seem to go best with yellows and oranges, and then reds tend to go better with the sort of mid greens, the leaf greens, the grass greens. So now I'm going to go glitter pen all the way around. Oh my goodness, these flowers have got this curly edge. But of course, with your greens you can experiment and play around as much as you like. I have been doing a bit of experiment with mixing up different colours. So I've got some Rita Berman postcards that I've been colouring, and I looked at Rita Berman's colouring for a bit of inspiration, and she is so unique in her colouring. So basically she uses polychromos, and she tends to use like a Venetian red, a green gold maybe, or a yellow, like a Naples or something, a light phthalo green, ultramarine, yeah, maybe a few other things, and maybe a lime, not a lime, what's it called, earth green yellowish, something like that. And then she just mixes them all together. She might have a pink, she might have a purple, that sort of thing, and then just sort of mixes everything almost randomly, and it's so beautiful. So I've been trying to emulate that on her postcards, like I did with my pumpkin page actually. And yeah, it's very, very eye-opening copying someone else's style of colouring when it isn't anything like yours, when it's not traditional, and that, I find that really good. And I have been saying for ages that I'm going to do another Chris Cheng, because I think that helps me. But I see Helen Elliston is bringing out a new book. Her books are always very inspirational. So what her books are called Colorist Special Effects, and basically they give you all sorts of techniques that you can use to sort of enhance your colouring. and the super books. I've just realised what I've done. I've done this right hand page. How am I going to do my left hand page without smudging? Oh dear, never mind. And I've got her 4 books that she's done so far, and they're very good. And then she did a sketch and what's it called? Sketch and something, and it taught you how to draw things and then colour them, but that wasn't my thing because there's too much drawing, which I don't enjoy. So the Colourist Special Effects 5 is going to be very exciting. Right, there we go. I am going to just put the lid on my glitter pen and tip it towards the light and check if I've done it all. Yeah. Now I haven't done the dots that are in the background. You could do those if you want, but I've decided that I don't want to. I want to leave those plain. It's completely up to you. I just feel that they're very small. If I try and outline them with a pen, I'll just cover them over. What I would suggest actually might be a better idea, if you want them to be glittery, use a clear glitter on top, and then you'll be able to see the colour through. That might work a little better. But there we go, there's that one. I'm going to go and have a coffee, and hopefully that might dry before I come back and put my hand in it. Oh dear. And I know what I'm doing for my last one now, which is good. Not so much the background, but for the foreground, so I'll be able to get going with it when I come back from my coffee. But for now, thank you so much for watching. Hoping that you have a really super day, and happy colouring.